When we talk about asylum and refugees, one of the fundamental human rights that was recognised was the importance that people should be able to flee from persecution, and that other nations and other peoples in the world should open their arms to them. And that if people didn't have that opportunity of fleeing somewhere else and having refuge given to them, then what kind of human beings are we? We've now found that actually to be called an asylum seeker is almost a term of abuse. People are actually ill-treated because they're asylum seekers, when in fact they came here to flee ill-treatment. So we've really got ourselves into a terrible double bind here, which is that we're fearful of too much immigration, and as a result we're ending up being a nation that is being hostile to those who genuinely need our help. One of the problems around the issue of asylum here in Britain is that there are people who are quite willing to provide protections to people whom they consider to be British, but are not willing to extend them to those who are not British. And so there is a tension there between civil liberties and human rights, because of civil liberties being vested in people because they're the citizens of a country, and human rights being vested in people who are citizens of the world. And so one of the things about providing for asylum seekers and providing refuge for asylum seekers is that sometimes indigenous populations feel, who are these people to arrive? And that's why it's so important to tell the stories of their persecutions. There is a sort of background hum currently around, which is that the Human Rights Act gives too many rights to asylum seekers, and maybe we should be reining it in. And I'm afraid that cuts across the political parties because of populism, because they feel that that's what the public out there wants, when in fact we should be explaining the good reasons why we should be offering sanctuary to people who have been persecuted. We're seeing an erosion of that absolute prohibition on torture. We've seen it in Guantanamo Bay, we've seen it in Abu Ghraib, we've seen the way in which the United States has been lowering standards, and I'm afraid that is filtering into even mature democracies like Britain.